Monday Motivation Monday, mental martial arts. Every Monday, we're going to be here at least 30 minutes. I'm watching the clock right now. So in 30 minutes, I'm going to turn it off. Motivation Monday. Oh, this is the first one. It snuck up on me because of all the freaking holidays. We're going to be inviting guests. And I haven't done this in a while. In 2001, when I sold my first business, it was so I could travel the country with guys like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, Mark Victor Hansen, the great and late Bob Durnell, and teach personal development, my program, Mental Martial Arts. Defend yourself against your toughest opponent, you. And we haven't done it in a while. Did that for many years. Taught leadership development in a lot of corporations, a lot, all over the place. Man, whew. I kind of miss it and I don't miss it. I've met so many great people. And so, yeah, I got some stuff I'm going to be showing you here. I pulled out. It was crazy because in the mid 90s, after I had somewhat become successful in construction, all my friends would ask, "Hey man, what the hell are you doing? How come you're busier than we are? How come your company's growing and we're not? Because you're dumber than we are, education wise," which was true. And I'll tell you this story. God, I just met this guy. I went and had a beer with him. I'll tell this story to my contractors tomorrow night in my Rapid Results business coaching. But I met with this guy, and his daughter goes to Ontario High School, and I said, "Wow!" I said, "Man," I said that. He goes, "You heard of it?" And I said, "Have I heard of it?" I said, "Dude," I said maybe it was 1980, 81. I don't know. Do the math. My mom was living out here. I just finished freshman year of high school, barely, in North Carolina. I didn't have anywhere to live. So I moved out to California to be with her, and I started school at Ontario High School, which was crazy. And I went there for like a half a year and quit. And that was the end of my education type stuff. And took a Greyhound back to North Carolina. Swore I'd never come back to California. I get to North Carolina, and even though it had been only a year, and I went back. I ended up staying with some friend, Mark Stanley. I actually reconnected with him a year or two ago on Facebook, but stayed with him and his mom. But when I went back, things had already changed so much within that year. The friends that I hung around with, that we used to make fun of people who got high and drank all the time, and we swore that we never would. When I got back, they were already drinking and getting high, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I stayed with him a little while, and then I ended up staying with my aunt. Went back to college, got my GED, and then took a Greyhound bus back to California. And some shit that happened in between. I'll share that later on also. But so I'm on this Greyhound bus to back to California. No money. I didn't. My mom bought me a. My plan was I was being this bum in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as a lifeguard, and I'm looking around at my life, and I'm thinking, shit, if I'm going to be a bum, and this is all I'm going to do is work at fast food restaurants and be a lifeguard. I said I should probably do this in Hawaii, because Hawaii sounds like a much better place than Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My mom is still in California, so I'm thinking, well, that's probably about half the distance from Myrtle Beach to Hawaii. Halfway is probably California, so at least let me get halfway there. So my mom buys me a ticket on Greyhound back to California. And I think that's a 3-day trip. The only stops they make are, picking up other people. And so I make that trip. So I don't eat anything for the whole 3 days. My buddy picks me up at the Greyhound bus station on Indian Hill Boulevard in Claremont, California. It's not there anymore. I drove past probably 6 months ago. So he picks me up and takes me, gets me some 25-cent hamburgers, ate a couple of those, and he says, I'm going to introduce you to my buddy Almond. Almond like the nut, which lived in Ontario. So he takes me to his house, and this dude's making spaghetti, probably the best spaghetti I ever had. He had moved out from Kentucky after doing, I don't know, I think he did 2 years of college, and he got whatever you get, AA, BA, whatever the hell you get. I don't even know what you get. So to me, the dude was a genius, right? Fast forward 5 years, and I'm doing pretty good. I've now learned the trade, kind of working for myself, making money, and my buddy Amin was working, different jobs. But he had said, "Hey man," he said, what happened to that kid that showed up at my house 5 years ago? Why are you doing so much better in life and financial than me?" And God bless him for even asking the question. And the answer is what I answer to everybody, what I'm telling you right now. The only difference between me and him, that Bryan Adams that stepped off the Greyhound bus, and then 5 years later, I told him, I said, dude, the only difference between us, I said, you've got the education. You graduated high school. I didn't even come close. You went to college, graduated that little whatever 2-year degree. I got a GED. I went to community college to study for the effing GED, and I think I barely passed it. I tried to join the Marines, be the few, the proud, the Marines type of deal. I went down and took that test, failed it so miserable they wouldn't even take me. So there you have it, right? So I told him, I said, dude, I said, the only difference between me and I said, that Bryan Adams that you met 5 years ago and you, right? I said, the only difference is the books I've read, the seminars I've been to, and the conversations and people I hang around with. And he said, tell me more. And he ventured into the world, but only enough. He would, and it's like right now, so many people with the economy, the way the economy is, it's just that we do what we have to do to get out of the uncomfortable place. And when we're not uncomfortable anymore, then we take action. And we take the action, we get out, when we're not, we move the rock that's on us, on our chest. We can't breathe. Got this big heavy weight, this big heavy rock. We do whatever it takes to get that effing rock off of us. Then we can breathe. And then we go back to our same old habits. And that's what he did for many years, many years. Matter of fact, the rest of his years. You guys been following me for some time. I did my big Indian motorcycle trip across the country. The day I pulled back into my driveway, looked at my phone, there was a text message that he had passed away. We were friends for many, many years. But that's the difference. But that being said, you can read all the books, listen to audios, go to all the seminars. And the only thing that's really going to make the difference is the action that you fucking take. Nothing more than that. I'm trying to pull up my Audible right now. Go to library, audio books. It should tell me. Yeah, like I got over 200 titles just in my audio books. I bought 4 more books this morning that I got to go through. So it is that. Stay with me. But what happens, especially like right now being the new year, and that's why I kind of wanted to start this right now. And a lot of people have been bugging me, especially Dave Adams. He'll be watching this. If he ain't watching right now, I know he'll be watching later. Big Ryan, comfort kills. I tell you, COVID killed a lot of contractors. What you mean? We made so much money during COVID. Yeah, that killed them. They got motherfucking lazy. They got lazy and expected to be that busy all the time. And now we're all dying. I can pull up my phone and show you many messages from a lot of people. I just got off the phone with another guy. But trying to stay on track here. So that was the difference. But it's the actions that you take that's going to make the difference. And so last week, as you know, I'm playing golf Friday with my buddy. And it's just being men. It's been men, just me and him, two of us, and we're getting paired up with other people all the time. So last week we got paired up with two guys. One of them was a pastor, so I couldn't cuss as much as I normally do. Had to hold that in. Uh, Even my buddy picked on me too. He's like, "Hey, dude, where's all those f bombs you normally drop it?" uh, but I hit one really good drive, and everybody was amazed. I'm like, "Hey, man, don't be so damn amazed, man. I should be hitting it like that all the time." And the pastor had said something, and I told him, I said, in every that I said that drive, as in every area of your life, the key to that is consistency. Consistency is the key to every area of your life. Get this. Consistency is the key to every area of your life. I said, if I could hit that ball like that consistently, I wouldn't be playing with you losers. And my buddy started laughing, shaking his head. I said, no, man, don't laugh. I said, if I could hit the ball like that every time, I said, I'd be on the PGA with Tiger. I said, at this point, I guess I'd be on that the old man circuit. But I said, you know what I mean? And he laughed. But it's true, man. You got to get this. It's true. Um, and That's why I like golf. People say, a lot of my friends say, golf ain't even a sport. And I said, man, golf is the only sport. I said, everywhere. I said, I think pretty much every other sport is a team sport. And I ain't about that. Uh, it's good to know team sports and be able to play on a team. But honestly, the only thing that's going to make a difference in your life is you and the people you surround yourself with. And don't get caught trusting them and then try to blame them. Oh man, you don't know what so and so did to me. And somebody knows who I'm talking to right now. Somebody knows what, man, they did this, they did that, they did it. No, motherfucker, you let them do that. Okay, you let them do that. Oh man, you being hard, Brian. Yes, I'm being hard. I'm being hard. Talking to another buddy of mine, retired special forces. Matter of fact, he just sent me a text right now. Did four tours in Afghanistan. I trained him before he went over there. I trained a lot of those guys hand to hand stuff. But we were talking because the dude that just blew himself up in Las Vegas was special forces from Fort Bragg. And yeah, they changed the name, but I'm calling it Fort Bragg. It will always be Fort Bragg to me. But he was like, so I said, hey man, I said, you know this dude? And he said, so he had to look him up. He goes, no man, I don't know that guy. I said, I don't know him. I said, all right. I said, I'm just checking. And he said, why do you think people kill themselves and stuff? I said, well, I said it definitely wasn't because he was in the Army. A lot of people may want to use that as an excuse, and everybody go, look, man, you got to get this. That's what every Monday is going to be about. Some Mondays won't be motivational. You have to understand, everybody's got a bullshit story. Everybody's got a sad story. God, man, trust me on that. All of us, we all have a bullshit, sad story. It either makes you or breaks you. You decide. And I said, you get a lot of suicides probably after Christmas, before the new year or the new year. So a lot of people just want to make it past one more Christmas, and then they give up. And he goes, man, I don't know how I feel about suicide. I said, well, I'll tell you how I feel about suicide. And my wife will hate me for saying this, and I shouldn't say it because this is the internet. It can't ever be erased, but I'm all for suicide. Yeah, I just said it. Yeah, if life is that bad, kill yourself. And I told him that, and he goes, "Whoa, man!" He said, "I don't know why, but I kind of agree with you, but I don't want to say it out loud." And I said, "I get that, dude." I said, "I get it." I said, "Trust me." I said, because we have a friend right now that's going through some bad stuff, and he goes, "Yeah, man, but you know, suicide is a permanent problem for a temporary situation." I said, "Yeah, I hear that all the time." I said, "And I wish that was true, but I don't know if it is." I said, "I know people who should have probably killed themselves 20 fucking years ago because they've lived 20 miserable lives. I mean, years. Because they're not. Look, man, if you're in a lot of pain and shit right now, and you're going through some stuff right now, uh, Yes, it will get better if you get better. It will change if you change. But if you're going to keep doing the same miserable, stupid shit, my God, man, that's a hard way to go through fucking life. I got some contractors I'm getting ready to start working with. Some I've been with for a while, some are new. But trust me, if you're going to keep doing the same stupid shit, well, one, you ain't going to be a part of this program. You'll be kicked the fuck out. Uh, but in all areas of life, business, relationships, all of it, if you're going to keep doing the same stupid shit, you're going to keep getting the same stupid shit results. Trust me. And if you're going to live the next 20, 30 years like that, I don't know. Maybe suicide is the way to go. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. You with me? Uh, I'm telling you, it is what it is. And hey, prove me wrong. My boy Doug said, I done listened to several books, took a little action that went back to the same old habits. Trust me, that's almond, brother. Uh, Shit, COVID put me in the hole 120K. How the hell that happened? We the only ones making money. Construction guys were the only ones making money in during COVID. Consistency is good, consistently bad. Choose well. That's true. Uh, yeah, they are. The dude said the dude was on Facebook telling people, on YouTube telling people suicide is the way to go. Dr. Kevorkian, Motivational Mondays with Dr. Kevorkian, whatever the hell that dude's name was. Somebody correct me. What was that dude's name? Google it. That was the suicide assistant dude. But that's what mental martial arts was way back when I started teaching it in the 90s. Mental martial arts, defend yourself against your toughest opponent, you. And it started because all of my years of teaching martial arts, through the years, I would have guys come in, and one, you're a black belt, you're teaching, winning at all the tournaments, so people kind of look up to you. And I was hanging out with some pretty big names in the martial art world and movie world. And then my business started becoming successful. And I credit martial arts to everything. I credit martial arts to everything. Uh, People say, oh man, you got to give all credit to God. And I say, yeah, well, I give God the credit for putting me in martial arts because it's martial arts that changed me mentally, which changed everything in my world, relationship wise, business wise, all of that. So business starts doing good. So, you have people confide in you and tell you what's going on outside of the karate studio. And I'm looking at these guys who are brown belts, green belts, brown belts. That's a huge achievement in my style. Huge achievement in my style. Black belts, even black belts, second degree black belts. And they're telling me what's going on in their personal life outside the studio. And I'm saying, dude, how? I said, no, man. I said, if you're succeeding in here, look it up. Kajukenbo, Kajukenbo, Kajukenbo. Look up Shorinji-Ryu Aiki Jiu-Jitsu. That's what I used to teach down at the LAPD. I was down there not too long ago. Man, that brought back some memories. Went down there to watch my nephew graduate from LAPD. I was showing my wife around. Man, here we are. It's like bittersweet. The last time I was there was to have the celebration of life for my instructor. But I'm telling these guys, they're crying about life outside the studio. And I'm like, dude, no fucking chance. I said, if you can succeed in here, out there is easy. This is hard. That's easy. I said, everything that we're doing in here, I said, if you apply it to every aspect of your life out there, whether it's business, as owning a business or being an employer, employee, being a husband, a father, a friend. I said, everything that we're doing in here, you do it out there, and life is easy. I said, I'm living proof, brother. I said, nobody got no more BS stories than I got. Trust me. Because they'd come in with their, I said, man, what are you doing? Adults even, but parents would bring in their kids and try to say, hey, man, you need to talk to little Tommy. He's doing this at school, doing that. I'm like, talk to him. I say, I done told him how to do a front ball kick him in the groin, like Bobby Hill. You don't know me? That's my purse. Kick him in the nuts. Yeah, I'm saying that halfway joking, but they're like, no, talk to my kid. He's messing up in school, blah, blah. And so I said, sit the kids down, but I'd sit my friends down, these adults. I said, tell me, man, what's going on? And they all came with me with some kind of BS baby shit story, crying. Well, you don't understand, man. This happened. Boom, 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 boom. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't understand. I said, no, you sit down. And I'll tell them my experience and my growing up as a kid and all this shit. I said, dude, said, look, man, I think if I don't have an excuse, I know you don't have an excuse. Trust me. And they go, oh my God, I didn't know. I said, no, of course you didn't know. Of course you didn't know. You're in your own little fucking bubble. Of course you didn't know. You're looking for reasons not to succeed. You're trying to make up excuses why you fucking failing because you don't want to put the blame where it belongs, on you. You got to get that. Everybody needs to get that. You're trying to look outside and grab reasons why you're not succeeding. Because if you can have a reason why you're not succeeding, you get to point the finger somewhere else. And trust me, there are no other fingers pointing. The only reason you're not succeeding is you, period. That's it, man. Personal responsibility. That's it. That's you. And from that, I don't know, 1994, 95, whatever, I started putting together mental martial arts to defend yourself against your toughest opponent, you. Because the only reason you're not achieving in any area of life is you. You know, come up with all that bullshit you want, but it's you. And that was the beginning of a lot of stuff. Let's see here. What did Doug say? Brian, they're going, yes, we read that one. Damn, I'm too old for martial arts. You don't need it, brother. You need the mental martial arts, Doug. That's what we're talking about. You don't need to be Jack Kevorkian. Thank you, Charlie. I knew Charlie would know. Because I know Charlie would know because Charlie's as old as I am. That dude got in trouble for putting people out of their misery. So every Monday we're going to be doing this. Is already 324. Every Monday we're going to be doing Monday motivation, mental martial art. Defend yourself against your toughest opponent, you. I used to sell this program. Look up Les Brown. If you don't know Les Brown, Google Les Brown. He is still, in my opinion, the #1 motivational speaker, period. I've heard his stories at least 100 times. I even heard him sitting around the Denny's table eating. But even hearing the stories, I know the story getting ready to come up. And I'd be on the edge of my seat, loving the way he tells stories, man. I'd hear it over and over again because we do all these seminars together. And I'd be backstage or out front or whatever. And it was twofold. I wanted to go before him because following Les was never fun. It's like following a good comedian, but hell, I'm a better comedian, right? So following Les, being motivational, was always, a catch-22. And I even told him, I said, hey man, I said, I don't know, bro. I said, I don't know. I said, I like going after you because one, the crowd's fired up and half of them are already leaving because they didn't came to see the main show and the main show's over. And I'd be telling people, bring it back, sit your ass down, bring it back. And people would turn around and look at me and I say, hey, I'm the main show. Les was warming y'all up. Bring it back. And half of them would laugh and come back and sit down. But I tell them, I said, because watching you, dude, even backstage, I said, no matter how many times I hear the story, I said, my ass walks out on stage fired up, man. I'm ready to go. I said, but at the same time, I got to follow the one and only great Les Brown. I said, that's always hard. But, oh, my God, we'd laugh. We'd have some good times. Oh, man. I do miss it. But I kicked his ass one day, man. I sold this dude here 21-day mental diet, change your life by changing your mind. And I sold, and because when I say I kicked his ass because of products and stuff that we were selling. And at the time, this program, the only thing it was really was this booklet, which really, and then later on, I got this cool cassette, plastic thing, and I put the CDs in there, 21-Day Mental Diet Part 1 and Part 2. But even back then, when I kicked his ass, all I had was that booklet, that ring binder, holding it up and telling people, you want to change your life, change your mind, right here, baby. And it's still a phenomenal program. Still, that's a tough ass program right there, boy. I ain't kidding you, man. That's a workout. Even my wife, man, my wife will bring up sometimes. She's like, "Well, maybe I think we need to go through the 21-day mental diet." Uh, and I said, "No, not me, man. That's too much like work." Uh, Brian said, "Less is the man." He is, man. I'm telling you, he is. If you Google me somewhere on my uh, intro tape DVD, you used to have DVDs and shit, right? Uh, Somewhere on the internet, I've got a video that I used to send to meeting planners and people wanting to hire speakers. So I'd send out the video of me. Somewhere in there is me and Les together, and Les giving me a testimonial, uh, something about changing lives. And this is what he said, something like, "This is Yeah, this is Mrs. Mimi Brown's baby boy, and I'm standing with my pride and joy, Brian Adams." I should have that somewhere, just that little clip. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. But that, yeah, I think before 21 Day Mental Diet, I wrote this, was probably one of my first books, Caffeine for the Mind, Thoughts That Wake You Up and Make You Think. It's still one of my favorite. Still one of my favorite. The little brown stuff with the coffee, and it's just a great book. Just a great book. Just something to read every day. And I wrote this book, the first book that I wrote, because I had to teach myself to read. Uh, and I did that because I wanted to read Chuck Norris's biography. And I picked up Chuck Norris's biography, and it looked like every other book. You open up the book, and there's nothing but words, and a lot of them. I was like, where the fuck is the pictures? And I was like, man, I can't read this. And so I put it back down. I'm like, man, I got to learn to read. I got to learn to read. And I could read, I could look at a word and tell you what the word was, but that's not reading. That's not comprehension. That's not understanding, all of that stuff. Uh, and I read this book, a little book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. It's all small stuff, something like that. Somebody Google that for me. Charlie, you seem to be on it. Google that. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. And I think we were like out on one of our little family trips in one of the little stores or something, and I seen that book, and I picked it up, and it was just like one sentence on a page, and then you flip through the pages, and it was like maybe 2 or 3 sentences, which I didn't understand at the time, but that meant a paragraph, and I'm like, oh shit, I can read a sentence. I can read a sentence, and so I bought the book, and I loved that book for a long time, and I still like that book only because that book taught me to read, because it was a sentence, and then it was maybe a couple of sentences, and it had a comma, which meant slow down, and it had a period, which meant that was a sentence, so it meant it said something, and it was a paragraph, and so I read it over and over again. Don't sweat the small stuff; it's all small stuff. And in many years, fast forward, as much as I love the book, I'm like, dude, that book had it all wrong. The only thing you should really stress is the small stuff. I mean, that's it, bro. That's it. It's the small shit that you should be stressing about. It's the small shit that you should be worried about. It's the fucking little gnats and mosquitoes. Like Ryan's in Florida right now during the summer, and even Charlie in Texas, mosquitoes just bug you to shit. I couldn't enjoy fishing from the gnats and the mosquitoes. It's like, God dang it, God dog it. You're constantly doing this and spraying off and stuff. It's the big things that will change your life. When you get laid off, boom, you get fired, boom, you take action, you do something. You're comfortable, and comfort, just like Ryan said, comfort will kill. Comfort kills. And you get comfortable with life. And you're at a job making just enough money, the job, just over broke, right? Just over broke. Jump out of bed, all that shit, whatever you want to call it. But it's comfortable. You know how much you're getting, you know how much you can spend, you saving up, and everybody's like, oh man, it's the new year, boy. I can't wait to do my taxes. The government gives me money, and that's my savings account. I'm gonna take that money and buy something. I'm like, God damn, what are you talking about? Government ain't giving you no money. Yeah, I get back, man, the government gives me about $1,500 every year. I'm like, dude, that's because you gave them $1,500 more than you should have. That was your money to begin with. But I stopped having that conversation with those people. Trust me. No, just go along with, oh, okay, good for you, bro. Good for you. All right. Yeah, you quit that conversation real quick. But no, man, you get comfortable. So you know how much you're getting, you know how much to spend, you do the and I guess for some people that's okay. That's but man, when you wake up early and you know you need more out of life, and you know you want more out of life, you can't live that way. It'll drive you nuts. You will go insane. Uh, and comfort kills. So until you get fired, until you get laid off, until you have a big car accident, so major events cause major action, and that's what makes a difference in your life. Major action, and you say, "Shit." You get fired, you get laid off, the company gets sold, it goes out of business, whatever it is. You go, oh my God, now what? And you take action. Next thing you know, you got to start your own company. You're doing something different. You get another job. You're reaching out to people, but something happens, and it probably ends up that you're doing better than you were, and you're asking yourself, man, I should have did this a long time ago. I don't want you to get to that point. I don't want you to get to that point. What Charlie said? It's often the small stuff that sets the foundation for larger issues because they add up. But the problem is the big things require action. The smaller things annoy you enough and keep you distracted long enough that you can't stay consistent on the actions that you should be taking to get to the better you, to get to the higher you, to get to the next level you. Like my friend, God rest his soul, Bob Donnell would say, because he had a company called Next Level by association and Next Level Training. So to get to the next level you, you know what actions you need to take, and you won't take them because you're being distracted by all these little small things. And I'm like, dude, stress that shit. Get that out of the way. Pay attention to it. Get it out of your way, and do what you need to do to get to the next level you. And then we did these way before there was internet. We had a little thing called telephone, and we used to do these teleconferences, these teleseminars. You see that? That's a picture of me. I used to look like that. That was at a Father's Day event with Les Brown. But it's the uncut teleseminars. This is set two. How bad do you want it? Set one is around here somewhere. I couldn't pull it out in time, but it's each set was like 4 CDs each. Let's see what's in this one. What's the it in your life? Yeah, what's the it in your life? Man, because whatever it is, if you want it bad enough, you can have it. And which goes into how bad do you want it, which is still probably my favorite CD. Mental Martial Arts is in here. As a Man Thinketh is in here. That's a good one too, though, man, because that one, Mental Martial Art, or As a Man Thinketh, I kind of go through the book As a Man Thinketh and break it down a little bit more in detail. I still listen to that one myself, but all of those you can find online for free somewhere. I'm for sure they're in our community master your business and master your business, dominate your trade, kick your competition's ass in our school program. Yeah, Doug, I thought you had all that shit, but it's on the internet for free now, for sure. Uh, and I still have the CDs over there in my little crate where I carry with me when I do seminars. I'd show up with a bunch of stuff, posters, uh, these dudes, and the 21 Day Mental Diet is it's really and I'm not a guy who says you can change a habit in 21 days. It takes a habit. It takes 21 days to form a habit. No, bitch. No, just no. You are either changing habits or you're either forming new habits or making your old habits stronger every second of the day. There is no 21 days, no 30 days, no this and that. But for the 21-day mental diet was kind of based on that theory, but it's for 21 days and hopefully longer. But it's making you stay in the uh, aware every minute of the day, which is hard, man. It's hard. I'm telling you, that's hard. It's harder than it seems like it would be or should be. Because we're on 90% of the day, you're on autopilot, man. You know what to do. You're just doing it. You're not even thinking about it. You're getting in your car and you drive home, and next thing you know, maybe you're listening to the radio. You should be listening to audiobooks. If you're in my program, you got a lot of videos to be watching. And you get home and you're like, you don't even remember the drive home. It's like you don't the turns or this and that. And at work, you already know what to do. You're not even thinking, whatever. But you're always thinking something. You're always thinking something. There's always thoughts going through your mind. There's always thoughts going through your mind. And the 21-day mental diet makes you aware of that. Because every 15 minutes, you have to write down what just happened. It's like, what the fuck did you just say? I mean, so you got all this crap to read through. And if I did it again, I wouldn't write it that way. I'd write it just like the caffeine for the mind. Day 2, but it's you're writing down. So a lot of it is just all homework. You're just writing. Every 15 minutes, you're writing down what just really went on, and you have to stay focused throughout the day. What you eat is part of it, but it's really what you're thinking, because so much throughout the whole day, I'm talking 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours throughout the day, you're just kind of daydreaming about shit, and that's reprogramming your mind, and that's going to happen. Period. Actually, our first coaching call is tomorrow, and part of that, and I better put it in my notes, is I'm gonna tell the guys is like, yeah, it's like I'm hoping to brainwash you. I'm hoping to program you, because you're being programmed every second of the day. That's the whole deal with the 21-day mental diet. It's not 21 days, man. It's you're being programmed every minute of the day. I just want you to be the one doing the programming. I want you to be aware of what it is that you're thinking, even on a subconscious level. A lot of people will say unconscious, and my wife will go, no, you didn't get knocked out. You ain't unconscious. It's on a subconscious level. And that's what the CDs are about. It talks about how the subconscious works. But that's what that is. So that's what we're going to be doing every Monday. We're going to be talking shit, telling you that everything that's going wrong in your life is your fault. Do you want to fix it? Do you want to fix it? And I've said it for over 10 years, and I don't know. I got so much crap going on, but I want to write a book titled Your Life Sucks Because of You. Subtitle, now what are you going to do about it? I mean, that's it in a nutshell. It honestly is it in a nutshell. If your life's, and if somebody said, well, you should write if your life sucks. Not everybody's like, no, I mean, F that shit. Your life sucks because of you. What are you going to do about it? So tune in every Monday, 3 o'clock. Hold me accountable. Make me be here. I'll be having some guests on here, but we're going to be going through the mental day. We're going to be going through the mental martial arts. We're going to be going through a lot of stuff. And I want to do it because when I start traveling the road, personal development is key to everything. My friend, mentor Jim Rohn will tell you that. You want to change your life, change yourself. Things will get better in your life when you get better. All of that stuff. And people would say, oh, man, I know. I understand how important personal development is. Man, I get it, Brian. I get it. 21-day mental diet. God, believe, boy, I understand that. Yeah, man. But I got this business that's failing. I need to make money. I need to make money. Over and over again, I'd hear my business is failing. I need to make money. And I know you used to be successful in business. What do I do? I know you. What do I do? What do I do? So for a long time, I didn't work with construction guys. I would only work with other business owners. for whatever reason, because they have more of a business mindset. Construction guys learn a trade and they are a tradesman. And then for whatever fucking reason, they start their own business and they think they're a business owner. No, you're not. You're still a tradesman. You're just working for yourself, and working for you sucks. What are you going to do about it? That thing. So I don't know, but about 5 years ago, I just got so fed up with all these digital content creator, digital marketer wannabes ripping off my fellow tradesmen. I wrote the book, for contractors only. You mastered your trade, now master your business. That whole thing, and then ventured off into the whole freaking marketing and websites and all that crap. It's like because there's so many freaking guys out there taking advantage of other people. And I even tell them, I say, dude, man, you want to go learn this shit and take advantage of the dance studio? Cool. The mailbox, etc. Cool. The restaurant? Cool. The dance studio? Cool. Martial arts studio? Cool. Any other business? Cool. But man, when you start doing it to construction guys, I get a little upset because I know how freaking hard we work and how much money. I know how hard it is to come by money in the construction industry, and to take advantage of those guys, whether you mean to or not, because you don't have a clue what you're doing. That's when I get frustrated. So I spent like 3 years on the internet arguing with dudes. If Doug's still here, I mean, I was putting up $5,000 bonds, saying, "Meet me somewhere, motherfucker. We fight. Let's fight. Winner take all." Several times. So I've tried to calm down a little bit. It's very frustrating. So, all right, guys, that's it, man. Looking forward to it. We'll see you guys next Monday for Monday Motivation. Mental martial art. Defend yourself against your toughest opponent. And I got, you know what? Let's see. We're going to come up with a brand new audio clip, because this is more for the construction. I need to make an audio clip for the mental martial arts. But either way, love you guys. These Mondays excite me because I know whether you're watching it live or watching it later, you watch 30 minutes of this and your life will not ever be the same.